Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Edwin. In today's tutorial, we're going to be going over a little of what we went over in lesson one, but a little more in depth. So we're going to be going over AI, machine learning, and LLMs. We're going to be going over that a little more so you'll have a better understanding by the end of the session. The majority of people who use ChatGPT use it without a full understanding what powers it. But you're not going to be one of those people after today. Stick with the lesson, and that confusion ends today. If it doesn't, hit me up with a comment, and I'll make sure that it does end. Okay, now let's go over AI, machine learning, and LLM. Why so many names, confusing names, right? And it just creates a lot of confusion for people. But anyway, let's try to go over each one of them and end that confusion today. That's my goal. And if I don't, please leave me a comment and I will go over whatever confusion there is. Just let me know in a comment what is that's confusing you, and I will create another video. All right, so now the AI, basically, let's look at that like the big umbrella. Machine learning, in a nutshell, it's how it learns. LLM is the language specialist. I know this still may not make sense, but let's move on. Eventually it will. Now, the metaphor. We're going to use the library again because it's the perfect metaphor. I was trying to look for an analogy that would communicate this highly technical subject in simple, everyday language that everyone could understand, either very technical people or seniors or very young kids. So now the AI is the giant library, holds all the knowledge. Let's look over to the right. This represents the largest library in the world that contains all the books ever written, dating back 5,000 years to the present, till last year, October 2024. Machine learning. Machine learning, it says here, the learning librarian. It gets better by seeing lots of books and spotting patterns where science, mathematics, history, etc. are placed in specific sessions of the library. Basically, what it's trying to tell you is, if you're a new librarian, let's assume you were a librarian, you started working in a library. Now, you need to know it's a massive library where you work at. It's not as massive as this AI library, but still, nevertheless, it's a large library. And you still got to learn how the library is organized by sections, by topics, by academic disciplines. The same goes for machine learning. Just as you would learn in a couple of weeks, you would be more familiar with the library and where different topics are reserved without even having to look in your index. So now let's go over now the LLM. Do you remember what LLM stands for, guys? Let's go over last lesson. LLM stands for Large Language Model. It's the library, it's the brain of AI. It understands language and finds information. ChatGPT, the friendly librarian. It talks to you using that trained brain. Okay, so let's look at the image again. Here's the woman trying to get help from the librarian. If you notice, the librarian has a huge brain image over his head. Okay, that represents that LLM is the brain of ChatGPT. The woman is asking the brain, as you will when you go into ChatGPT, you will ask it a certain question about something, whatever it is, whatever you need, whatever report you're working on, or whatever topic you want to research. You present it to the librarian, and the librarian goes fetches it for you. That's what ChatGPT does for you. It speaks to the brain. So ChatGPT is the friendly librarian at the library. But the LLM is the librarian's brain, meaning it's where all that information is from all over the world. Let's move on. Okay, let's see how all of this fits together. The relationship between these terms aren't random. It's a hierarchy where each level builds on the one before it. Think of it like zooming in from a wide view to specific details. Artificial intelligence. Number one, the big goal. Make computers smart enough to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Machine learning. Number two, the method. Learn from data and experience rather than being explicitly programmed for every situation. It keeps learning from experience. Deep learning, the advanced technique. Use neural networks with many layers to find complex patterns in data. We're going to be going over that a little more in detail. Don't worry if you don't understand just yet. But in biology, when they study the human brain consists of neural networks. And in fact, you can create new neurons. You can train our brain to develop new neural pathways, new neurons. Just like I'm trying to do something with my cousin who has dementia. I'm trying to help her develop new neural pathways by doing some exercises with her. Okay, let's look at the large language model, LLM, the language specialist. It learns from massive amounts of text to understand and generate human language. That's how it's able to speak to you. It learns from all the text that it's been trained on, and it is able to put those words together in sentences to speak to you. ChatGPT, that's where the confusion comes in. The majority of people, including myself, I thought that ChatGPT, LLM, AI was all one and the same. No. ChatGPT is a product. It's a specific program that works with the brain to give you helpful conversational responses to you that you're a user. Now you understand what 90% of people confuse daily. Each term represents a different level of specificity. Specificity. I'm having a problem with that word. Now, let's look at some examples. If you subscribe to Spotify, what it does after you listen to your favorite types of music, for example, I love to listen to Western, country Western, salsa music, house music from back in the day. Once it learns that, it will start making suggestions to me on other songs that's indexed in their library, in Spotify's music's library, and make recommendations to me. Okay? So over time, it learns my preferences and suggests songs that I like. It's learning from my behavior data to make better predictions. Okay, ChatGPT number 2, explaining a recipe. This is an LLM in action. When ChatGPT explains how to make lasagna in plain English, adjusting its language to your skill level, it's using its training on billions of text examples. It understands language patterns and generates human-like responses. Have you heard about the self-driving car? Here's AI working behind the scenes, under the hood. It's driving you around without you even knowing it, right? It's a complete AI system. What it does, it combines multiple types of intelligence. Computer vision to see obstacles, machine learning to recognize patterns, and decision-making algorithms to determine when to brake. It's AI bringing many techniques together, breaking down the differences. All right, so let's go over them. Artificial intelligence. A lot of people still are quite confused about artificial intelligence. And then there's also super artificial intelligence, which is going to be coming up within, I would say, within 3 to 5 years, where super artificial intelligence, just think of super artificial intelligence, where it has everybody's knowledge, combined knowledge inside the brain. So it will be the smartest robot that has ever existed and will know much more than human beings, because it combines all human knowledge into its brain all at once. So that means all the scientists, doctors, philosophers, astronomers, it knows all their knowledge, and now it's all embedded into super artificial intelligence, the brain. Okay, so now let's look at artificial intelligence. It's the broadest term covering any computer system that mimics human intelligence. Examples: voice assistants, recommendation engines, image recognition, game playing programs. What is the goal here? Solve problems that normally require human thinking. Machine learning. It's a subset of AI focused on learning from data. Examples: spam filters, fraud detection, predictive text, medical diagnosis tools. Spam filters, when spam filters look over the emails that you send, if it's spam, it's already been trained on that data. So if it picks up you using certain words, it'll block you and put it into the spam folder. Let's go now into the goal. The goal of machine learning is to improve performance through experience without being explicitly programmed. Let's stop for a second here. Think about that one for a second. Machine learning. What the heck is it? Is it learning because we're programming it to learn further? Or is it learning through actual experience? It is actually learning through experience on its own, without me or anybody else programming it any further. That's exciting. Now let's look at LLMs, large language models. Scope. A specialized type of machine learning trained specifically on text. Examples: ChatGPT, Claude, Google Bard, writing assistants. I specifically use ChatGPT and Claude. Claude, it's much better at writing code. And ChatGPT, I use it primarily because it remembers in memory. It saves all my chats, all the chats that we have regarding any research on anything that I do or any project that I work on. it remembers everything. So what happens is it keeps the brain, it keeps learning from me, from all the data that I am inputting into it, all the questions, examples, etc. And what happens is it just keeps learning more and more about me. Eventually, it starts giving me actually even better responses. So the goal, understand and generate human language at scale. Let's look at this image here. Machine learning is here. LLMs is here. Machine learning is here. AI overlapping. Okay, so they all work hand in hand together. Now you understand that AI is composed not of one part, but of three parts. Machine learning, LLMs, and ChatGPT. Now, let's try to understand that LLMs, it doesn't replace AI. It's a specialized tool within it. Now let's look at what it says here. Think broader. AI encompasses everything from simple rule-based systems to sophisticated neural networks. Let's try to make sense of what that means. I hate when people use technical terms and don't break it down. I don't work like that. I like to break it down in simple language that a 10-year-old could understand whatever I'm teaching. So let's look at what AI includes. Simple robots that just follow rules, the old style AI, and smart systems that learn from examples, neural networks. Now let's look at a neural networks example. Imagine a huge group of mini librarians, maybe 10 of them. And each mini librarian reads one tiny part of the book. They pass notes to each other about what they read. And when all notes are combined, they understand the whole book together. That's what a neural network does. Many little helpers working together to understand something big. Not all AI uses machine learning, and not all machine learning works with language. Think specific. When someone mentions AI, ask yourself, are they using pattern recognition, language processing, decision-making algorithms? Understanding the specific type helps you grasp what's really happening. Think connected. These technologies work together. It's combined. ChatGPT is an LLM which uses deep learning, a type of machine learning, which is a method of achieving AI. They're nested, not separate. You now understand the family tree. Okay? AI, machine learning, and LLMs aren't separate parts. They're parts of one system working together, each building on the foundation of the previous layer. You've just mastered the connection between them, something most tech users never fully grasp. This understanding gives you a framework for making sense of every AI announcement, product launch, and news headline you're going to encounter. When a company claims AI breakthrough, you can now assess what they really mean. When you read about machine learning applications, you know where they fit in the big picture. The three core concepts you now understand and can explain it. If you don't, just come back and repeat the video. You're ahead of 90% of most users who still confuse these terms daily. Now you're 100% ready for the next level to dive deeper into how LLMs work. Quick reference guide. Bookmark this mental model for whenever you encounter AI terminology. These simple questions will help you identify which layer you're really talking about. Let's go look at the first one. Is it making decisions or making intelligence? That's artificial intelligence, the broader category of smart computer behavior. Is it working specifically with text or language? That's likely an LLM, specialized language understanding and generation. Is it learning from patterns and data? That's machine learning, the system improving through experience. It's like you getting on your first roller skates or your first bike. When you first put on your first roller skates, and I do remember when I was a kid, and I'm up there in age, and I still remember first putting on those skates. I was off balance, and before I knew it, I was racing down the street. Is it a chatbot or writing assistant? That's an LLM application, a product built using LLM technology. So when you find a chatbot or someone refers to a chatbot or writing assistant, that's an LLM application. It's a product that was built using LLM technology. Next, let's look at how ChatGPT thinks, tokens, predictions, and context. Now that you understand where LLMs fit in the AI landscape, we're ready to go inside the AI brain. In the next lesson, we'll explore the fascinating mechanics of how ChatGPT predicts words and builds sentences that sound remarkably human. You'll discover how it breaks down language into tiny pieces called tokens, how it calculates what word should come next, and why context matters so much for quality responses. Don't worry, it's simple and fascinating once you see it step by step. Understanding how AI thinks isn't just interesting, it's essential for using it effectively. Get ready to peek behind the curtain. You now know the pieces of the AI puzzle, but lesson 3 reveals what happens inside ChatGPT the moment you type. Go watch now lesson 3 to uncover the part no one ever explains to you. Ready to see how it really thinks? Let's move on. If you like my tutorial, if you learned something from my tutorial, hit like and hit subscribe. It supports this channel. And also leave a comment on this lesson. This is lesson 2. Leave a comment that you understand AI, LLM, and ML. ML is machine learning differences. Leave whatever comment you want to leave, or just leave a comment saying you understand AI, LLM, and ML. That's it. Take care and have a good day. Bye.